All right, let's go. Check. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I am your host, Rex Ruger, along with, of course, the Nicaraguan nightmare, Alexis Arguello, the puppet version.
And I'm your other host, Frank Benji's, back with another episode.
Yep. Had a very good, at the time of this recording, a little earlier today, had a nice little conversation.
Soiree.
Yeah, with yet another legend. It's what we do here, man. This is where we give you all your, as I like to say, all your legends and luminaries. This is where they gather, right here. Yep.
If your fix is fighting, this is where you get your fix.
Yeah. And I would like to say that, hey, the Off the Couch Boxing Roadshow rolls on, man, tonight. I mean,
yeah.
Another goodie. We hope, I've been talking with our guest quite a bit.
They are on the spot interviews delivered with a punch.
Yeah, to quote the great Kukunana. Yeah. Should have a Kukunana doll back there to keep Alexis Arguello company. There's our guest, man. So,
yeah, bring him on in.
Enough of this. That is enough. We're going to get him in here. We're going to get the real champ in here, man. There he is. What's up, champ?
Hey, how you doing? How's it
Good.
going?
CHRIS BYRD, you said you were going to have bad reception. You look all right.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be bad. Sometimes it go bad, but it looks good now.
It's hit or miss. Two-time heavyweight champ of the world. First of all, man, right off the rip, man, before we get into your career, I got to ask you, as a guy who fought at heavyweight, what's your assessment right now of the current heavyweight champ and or heavyweight division?
It's funny. I don't know. After seeing Tyson Fury last week, it was kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
To have an MMA guy come and basically beat you. So I look at it like, okay, this is the heavyweight champion. This era isn't that good.
No.
You got good fighters. I'm not gonna say they're bad, but I think in our era we would have wore all these guys out.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, you've got huge wins. For fuck's sake, Vitaly Klitschko, Frez, Evander, David Tua. I mean, even just naming the guys that you have wins over on your own resume. I mean, that's quite a cast of heavyweight elites right there.
Yeah, those tough fights. We had at the time 100 heavyweights. I got a Ring magazine book. I'm on the front cover with three other heavyweights. 100 heavyweights vying for the heavyweight title. So it was the world opened up after 1992 Olympics, and especially 96. The world opened up to all boxing everywhere. It was just United States, and a lot of the Russians would come over. A lot of the Europeans would come over here, but now it's everywhere. So it opened, man, and a good talent came, and then it went away.
Yeah.
And talent, like if you could name 10 heavyweights. I mean, it was so many young heavyweights at that time. You could name 10 right off the bat. Right now, you can't. When you're in boxing, that's what's crazy.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned the Tyson Fury and Ngannou fight. Overall, though, and usually we ask this of all the guests because it is such a polarizing topic right now, but when you see these hybrid matches, these MMA versus boxer, or these YouTuber fights, what's your opinion on what they do for combat sports? Do they take the credibility out of it?
In some way, because, you work your way to get to the top. But the publicity is so big with some of these guys, it helps boxing. I mean, it helps the sport where it seemed like the sport was, to the public, it's lagging, but it really isn't. So it ups the sport more. So I think it's good.
Yeah.
think it's real good, actually.
Do you think? Do you think that like the landscape of boxing has taken a hit because of the fact that there's a lot of like bad officiating and bad judging?
I mean, it takes a hit for that moment, but I think, overall boxing, if you look at the crowds, you look at the ratings, hey, it's doing pretty good. And I think, just certain judges look at boxing a certain way during a fight, and we could all look at it and say, well, that was robbery, but you're not at ringside. So you may see something different.
Yeah. And so for you specifically, man, one thing I used to love about your career, and it fascinates me that it was great that you had your corner was full of family members, but a lot of times you would think that especially a mother, which was very forward thinking of your mother, though. Usually you would think this would be a sport that a mother would not want to see your child engage in, and yet there was your mother working your corner.
Yes, I mean, it's 5 boys in the family. We all boxed, the 5 boys, and she was always in the corner. And she was even in my father's corner when he boxed because he had no coach at certain times in his career. So she was the motivation behind everything I did.
That's incredible.
From amateur, from the Olympics to pro. I mean, she pushed me big time. You're the best. I'm undersized as a heavyweight. No way I should have been even in the mix with these big guys, but she would push me really hard.
So you would say you were the best of the 5 brothers by far?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Tell them all.
He's got to say that.
I'm the youngest, too, of 8 kids.
Yeah. What else you going to tell us, Chris? Best looking, too?
Oh, nice. Best looking. Everything.
All right. And so I want to ask you one thing, and I've been talking to you, via text message, and I did mention you that we just recently had Ika Bayabuchi, who was an opponent of yours on his rise up the heavyweight ranks at the time. He had an encounter with you, but not even speaking about the actual fight, but did you get the sense, because I've watched that fight numerous times, love you, love Ike, but did you feel like in the interview afterwards, because you are such an honest guy, that, and if you watch the commentary back, Larry Merchant seemed to be a little bit critical of you.
A little bit?
All right, I'm glad you said it, Chris. I'm glad you said it.
No, he was very critical. I mean, he had no right to say what he said. I'm out of it. I got hit with a big punch. I'm 208 pounds against this 244-pound monster, and you give me no credit? Yeah. I mean, the fight wasn't like he was dominating me. It was even. So
it seemed like Larry's
no credit.
It seems like Larry's assessment of what a heavyweight should be, ought to be somebody who's just going right through people and knocking them out. And I don't think he was really forward in his way of thinking and looking at this new kind of smaller, you guys were kind of like the catapult into that newer, smaller heavyweight, where it was more about boxing and the sweet science and avoiding punches. I think his idea of a heavyweight just was very dated.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I think, he didn't like Muhammad Ali too much. And I remind him of a little bit because I think he was one of the managers of Joe Frazier.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he don't like my style. He just didn't like it. I'm like, really? I'm going against these big guys trying to fight in fear all the time because you're thinking how one punch changes everything. And these guys are on drugs. And you like, what? I never did drugs, I'm a clean guy big time. But when I seen all that and heard about it, I couldn't believe it. Then I started thinking, man, I'm beating guys that are on drugs, guys that are twice as big as me, and they're on drugs. And I still can beat you. So I'm excited, man, because I'm coming back soon. I feel great.
I know. And we will get to that. Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it usually does end up being the more technical, elusive guy. Like you see those guys that walk through and just knock everybody out. Usually they end up getting beat by a guy who's got that, you know, that stick and move, that elusiveness. But I was going to say, though, that Larry Merchant is obviously somebody that doesn't really like that style because he did the same thing to Floyd after a fight, berated him in the ring and was like, oh, you suck, basically. I would whoop your ass 50 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. An infamous scene in the ring.
He was bugging out.
Yeah, he was. I mean, you have a right to your opinion, but you're a commentator, man. Come on. You have
a right to your opinion, but your opinion's wrong.
Yeah. And I think if there's any place you're going to show some bias, it should certainly be in your commentating of a fight, because like your words do have some leverage and you can change people's perception of like what's going on in the fight. Yes.
And he had a lot of leverage to change people's perception of everything. They would listen to him and who's the other one?
Lampley.
Jim Lampley. They would listen. I'm like, well, they never fought before. Why are you taking their word for it? Really?
And you make a good point. A lot of the guys that you beat, though, I mean, were rather large guys. I mean, McCline, Vitali. I would even say, even though he was a smaller heavyweight, Evander was probably still bigger than you.
He had just fought a Sim Rockman.
Yeah.
People don't remember that head, but they were going at it back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, he put that baby head on him.
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
But so when you're in the corner with family members, you know, totally working your corner, does that put more pressure on you, or is that more reassuring when you're in a fight?
No, it's reassuring. I'm glad you asked that question, because it was my mother, especially in world title fights. And, you know, you defending the title, she would come whisper. My father talking to me in front of me, but my mother whispered in my ear the real stuff. Yeah. You know, you just brought this brand new house. You know, your kids are in private school. You got to do this. I'm like, that's real. That's the real stuff.
That's motivation.
I listen to that more.
Yeah, but you look to Mom Dukes, man. She comes through and gives you that information you need.
Oh, yeah, big time. I got a story about my mom in amateur. It was crazy. I was in 1992 Olympics, and throughout that, we couldn't afford. You know, my father was the head coach of the Olympic team, and we couldn't afford to bring my mother over.
You're getting frozen a little.
Boxes is it out?
Yeah, you're just getting frozen a little bit.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. His wife had an extra ticket, so he gave it to my mom. So I fought the first fight in the Olympics. Didn't do well, but I won the fight. But it was lackluster. My mother didn't come. She had a ticket for my second fight, and she had to leave after the semifinals, and that's how it was booked. So she was there for the first fight. The fight she was there, I smoked everybody. I was up for outstanding boxer. The officials came to me before the finals and said, if you win in the finals, you're outstanding boxer of the tournament. I'm like, this is Olympic. I would have been the best fighter in the world amateur.
Yeah.
My mother leaves. Her ticket was up the final. I didn't hear that voice. I'm like, oh, where my mom at? And I lost 12-7. It was devastating to me, but especially not having my mom always, because she always been there.
Yeah.
My
That's
whole career.
And so when you look back on, and again, I've just rattled off a whole bunch of names on your resume. Is there that one guy in your mind that gave you the toughest fight? Doesn't even have to be necessarily a fight that you won or lost, but who was the toughest guy that you feel like you faced in the ring?
Oh, Vladimir Klitschko.
Yeah, Vlad
Klitschko. I mean, it's him and his brother. I mean, they're to me 6'7", 6'7", 6'7.5", two of the greatest heavyweights ever to put on the glove. But they don't get the credit.
They put all that weight on you.
Yeah. And Vitali was great.
Lay all over you.
they had skills to go with it and the tenacity, especially Vitaly. I mean, he had this pit bull in him. I went over and sparred with him later in my career, and I'm like, man, I was impressed.
I think that's why
I even fought him, and I was impressed.
I think that's why Fury has had such a way with guys up to this point in his career, is because of the same way Klitschko just able to put his weight on you and make you feel him and tire you down and rag you down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when you're small,
but you gotta remember too, he's 6'9".
Right.
He's height and he got a little wiggle to him. Like his movement.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I look at it like, I mean, I see for me personally, I'm a little guy, but I see I can shut him down so many ways. Too slow. He's not the biggest. I would be more afraid of Deontay Wilder than Tyson Fury. If not afraid, but more concerned, like, because that one punch factor. But Tyson Fury, it really disappointed me with the MMA guy. Yeah, because that should have been playtime. Let me play with you, man.
You could tell though, he definitely didn't come in sharp though. He looked heavier than ever. Like, he looked
you
bad.
The heavyweight champion.
He looked bad.
Yeah. But you the heavyweight champion of the world. I don't care how you look. I am not letting a guy from another sport even get with me. Really? That's embarrassing.
Even making it competitive.
I don't care if it's not a fight sport. Really? I'm the heavyweight champion of the world in boxing, and you come from another sport and basically beat me? That's embarrassing.
Well, come on. We gotta say, Chris, that your head movement and footwork was much more impressive than Tyson Fury.
Much.
Much. But you're the heavyweight champion of the world. I don't care. Deontay Wilder, you getting up from his I consider him one of the hardest, or maybe the hardest puncher ever in heavyweight history. The man, unreal power. And you getting up from that, and now you getting blasted by a non-boxer?
Yeah, novice. Yeah.
That would never happen.
So I know that you're busting at the seams with excitement. So we definitely want to touch on you coming back. Once you're not frozen.
53 years old, but I'm telling you, I went through chronic pain for 11 and a half years. And through that chronic pain, I learned so much just about myself, about everything. I'm the healthiest I've ever been in my life. I never got a chance to fight at my original weight class, which was I was a middleweight in the Olympics, silver medalist, didn't get signed. Now it's time to go get it. I feel the best I feel in my life. I'm looking for all the young guys. I mean, from 147 to cruiserweight, I don't care. Let's get it. I feel like a new man, and I got my skills back. My joints were all messed up. I mean, I was left for dead, basically. I had nerve damage in my foot, running up my leg. I had a hip replacement. I needed both my shoulders replaced. I needed my other hip. I mean, I was bad, but
I feel you, champ.
2020, I came out with videos saying I was coming back because I was so excited to be out of pain. It took me from that time to now to get to where I'm at, and the feeling I have is unreal. It's the same feeling I had when I was heavyweight champion. I'm like, it's scary. So I want to do this again. I challenge anybody in the world. I want to be the best in the world.
You know, I'm curious,
and
just
I know
because
I can do it.
We just had him on and we talked to him and you fought him and you know, I mean, you felt his ability to punch, and he's also wants to make a shot at a real comeback over the age of 50. What do you think of Beabuchi in this heavyweight division? Because he'd come back as a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Poses a threat at over 50.
So
Now let's also keep in mind though that Ike was locked down and incarcerated for quite a while. So he doesn't necessarily, and this is what I told him in my discussions with him, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this on here, but, you know, I think we even said it in our interview with him, though. He doesn't have all that mileage, though, because he has not been fighting all this time. He's just been staying in shape. So he hasn't taken a lot of punishment and beatings as a guy who had maybe boxed like from then until now.
I'm
and
just
maybe had a career.
curious, knowing like you and your story, what you think of a guy with no mileage trying to really
what would
do
your
what
assessment
you want to
be?
do.
Is there anything he can do with any of these top heavyweights?
Oh, Tyson Fury looked last week. He could be heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Really?
Amen. Yeah.
Really? I'm not gonna put nothing down on somebody who they got a goal they set for themselves and to do it, especially Ike, knowing
he's
that
determined.
I can do this again.
Yeah.
I've been boxing since I was little, man. I love this sport. I love the competition. I mean, you know, my speech well, my mind is great. I'm in great health. I'm like, let's do it. If he's in that mindset, he feel like that he can do it. He can do it. And he had the style. The guys are bigger now. That's the only thing. The guys are a lot bigger, but he still hit. So he's still hitting the same way. He still got the tenacity. He could be right up there in the mix.
With that being said, to go back to you, for you said 147 and up. Is there anybody that sticks out specifically that you feel like your style could like pose a problem for?
There's got to be one guy out there you're licking your chops at that you'd like to fight.
My style will pose a problem for everybody.
Yeah, that I believe.
You're not I was a great amateur too. I would have came into pro killing it with a different style. So I'm better. I feel like I'm better, more wiser. A guy, you know what would be great? I would love to fight Canelo Alvarez.
Let's call him out right now, champ. Let's start some trouble.
No, it's not even trouble. I met Canelo, great guy, but I love he's the best in this era. So wouldn't you want to fight the best? I mean, the best in the era, and I give him all the respect in the world. The guy can fight. I love to fight the Charlo brothers. It's like fighting Vladimir and Vitaly Klitschko all over again. Let's get it. You know, it's in the family. If I fought at 47, I want the best guys. That'd be
Is there an ideal?
Let's get it.
Is there an ideal weight range for you though that you would like to fight at? I mean, like, what do you feel like your wheelhouse is right now?
Honestly, my real one is 160.
160.
But I weigh 160 right now.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm saying right now 160, Tim Tszyu is an easy poach, I think.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Tim Tszyu coming up. He's coming up. I love him.
I feel like he's a lot on the center line and a lot of direct in and out movements. He doesn't got a lot of this.
And I'll tell you what would make it interesting too is that you also you know, you were fighting in that same era as his father. Do you see a lot of similarities between him and his father?
Oh yeah. We fought in the World Championships together in Australia in 1991.
Yeah,
that's when he turned pro right after that. So he was a great amateur, great pro fighter. So he's just like his father. He's a great fighter. The challenge is everything. Let's get it.
Now, obviously, you know, and I sent you the link to the interview too. Obviously, you could see in the Ike Ibeabuchi interview, you know, he's not really as much interested in these hybrid fights or these gimmick type fights. He wants to really see if he can make a dent in today's current heavyweight scene. Is that the same goal for you? Like, do you want to jump back in and really be like fighting for potential world titles and taking it as far as it can go?
I want to be those champion. I'll take the fights, the hype fights, but of course, anything to get some boxing in. But my goal is to be world champion, honestly. And this is, I'm serious as if I had a heart attack right now. I'm super serious.
Amazing.
I wouldn't be boxing if I didn't have the goal to be the best in boxing. I wouldn't box. Why?
It's inspirational too. It's very inspirational, especially, you know, like myself being a guy over 50 years old too. It's very it's inspiring to see guys like you and Ike, you know what I mean, who you know, who want to take you know, another stab at it in a serious, earnest way like that. It's inspiring.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be serious about it. A lot of people don't take you serious though. Man, you're crazy. You're going to get hurt. They never talk about my opponent. Him getting hurt, but they always talk about me getting hurt.
Well,
I'm in the best health ever. It's time to go get it.
Well, let's talk about what's really important here, man. Is that why, as a two-time heavyweight world champion, a guy who was 41-5, why are you not down the road from us here in upstate New York in Canastota? Why isn't Chris Byrd in the International Boxing Hall of Fame?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah,
sure.
It's one we're not afraid to. It's one we're not afraid to pose on here.
Hey, have you ever been? Have you ever visited?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, it's literally right. It's literally right down the road for us.
Is it? Oh, that's
well,
nice.
Yeah, we're right here in upstate New York.
That's nice. Wow.
Yeah, well, not so much this time of year. It's not nice, champ. It's a little cold.
Oh yeah,
it's getting a little cold. So, so I got to ask you, as far as what you want to do, during this comeback. What kind of inspired this at your age? Was there something that, that happened, that was the impetus for all of this, thinking about coming back at 53 years old?
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was that, man, I started this. Honestly, I was in chronic pain. I was in my garage, stuck in my garage, and the spirit of my mother came to me. And we talked over it. I told my mother I want to come back to boxing. She gave me all the pros, the cons, everything. And then what she left me with said everything. What she left me with was, whatever you put your mind to, you could do. She always told me that. Yeah. Since I've been little. So I'm thinking, well, that's the thing. Boom. I started healing up, got to work, and start working on my body, and wanted, just go further with it, and always wanted to fight at my original weight class. Then I came to Salinas, California to train a young man named Jesus Sanchez Jr. And just hanging around him, he's a 16-year-old young man right now. And he's training the next big one in boxing, like the next can punch, wisdom, skills. So that really inspired me, seeing where he came from. He used to get bullied when he was young. And he told his father he wanted to box. So just in talking to him and getting to know him, I'm like, look at this kid. Look how far he come. And he gonna be the best in the world.
What weight does he fight at?
He fights at he's about 132 right now, but he's gonna be bigger because he's doing what Terrence Crawford did when he was young. He's wrestling also. So this young man, you will hear about him. I mean, he's gonna be the best. Oh my goodness, he can punch and his skill. And the biggest thing about him, he has no fights. So he's coming at you with no fights.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's impressive. Well, we'll certainly look forward to him.
That's kind of confidence, man. It's confidence.
Shout his name out again. What's his name so we can be on the lookout?
Jesus Sanchez Jr. Remember that name.
Yeah, we definitely will.
And now we've got it recorded. That big one.
It's etched in history now. It has been officially recorded. Now, back when you were fighting, was there a heavyweight that you would have liked to have fought, or maybe a fight that you would have liked that either didn't manifest or fell through?
Oh, Lennox Lewis, definitely. Yeah. When I went to heavyweight, honestly, what happened was I came back from the Olympics, didn't get signed. I was devastated. I mean, I had my girlfriend who was my wife later. Now we're divorced, but she was pregnant. So I baked everything on the Olympics. So afterwards, you get signed and your career goes.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. So a bootleg promoter come, put a show on. Nobody get paid. Nobody come to the show. Second fight, nobody get paid. Nobody come to the show. I'm cutting grass. My brother had a side lawn business. He worked at GM. So he would give me the money because he felt bad for me. So I'm cutting grass and I'm like, man, I'm just going to go to heavyweight. It was a joke at first.
Yeah. I
started eating, borrowing money. I didn't have nothing. Putting weight on. And next thing you know, I'm a heavyweight. I'm fight. You should have seen, I fought at a nightclub. My first, it was 7 fights I fought in a nightclub. Olympic silver medalist. I made $600 my third fight.
Jeez.
The most I made in the nightclub was $1,000. But I went from the nightclub, went to the Palace of Auburn Hills, where they were putting on shows there, and USA Tuesday Night Fights. Y'all remember the Tuesday Night Fights?
Oh, I remember USA Tuesday Night Fights. Yeah.
I mean, I can't co-sign any of the old shit because this is my dad that we're doing this interview with. So
I remember
but
USA
he remember.
Yeah.
He remember. So I used to fight on there. I mean, I fought on there, but I was a walk-in. But I was the first fight. I'm an Olympic silver medalist, and I'm the first fight. That's kind of low.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
But I beat the guy so bad. They were like, oh, he has to be on our network. I mean, I showed skills, everything. And then I just started working my way, up the ladder. And my promoter, man, God bless him, man. He was he owned a laminating business. And my brother was the one that got in contact with him. And he said, I don't have much money, but I got a venue. It was a nightclub.
Yeah.
And we could put on shows. So I started in a nightclub like Rocky.
Yeah.
And
literally,
I just fought my way. I had talent, so and belief. So my thing was, man, it's time to be the best.
And so now, we're calling out middleweights. That's what we're doing out here, Chris. We're calling out middleweights. Where are they?
All out. Call them
all out.
Bring them. Bring them. The master is coming back.
These are the kind of exclusives we need here, man.
I'm gonna bring back something they never seen before. Not from you. Never seen with somebody with a gray beard, and I'm keeping my gray beard. I'm not cutting it off.
Make sure you represent those gray beards.
Young guy, daddy's here.
No, really, seriously, no joke. Like, you would be a different guy coming back fighting because you don't look anything like you did before.
Yeah. Well, you do, but you don't. Obviously, size-wise, you don't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great.
You look fantastic, though. Yeah.
No, it wasn't in a bad way.
If he knocked off that beard, he would look like the guy in the Ike Bayabuchi fight all over again, just 50 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
And a little less hair.
But I feel it's amazing how you can feel when you treat your body like it's precious, the most precious thing you have. And it is.
And now
I feel great. Just ready to go, man.
Are any of your brothers still pursuing boxing in any way?
No, not at all. They look at me like, okay, you crazy.
Are any of them, and now because the family was such a vital part before, when you do come back, are any of your brothers going to be involved even in the training or the corner or any of that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, my brother Patrick will be. He'll be the coach. I have three: my brother Patrick and my brother's sister. My brother's sister. My brother Patrick, my sister Tracy, and Jose Salaya, who was a boxer here in Salinas. We're good friends. Man, we're about to do this thing big.
But who's the brother you used to spar with though to get ready for the bigger heavyweights? Joe.
Yeah, you start with Joe. I use him for power because he could punch. I would never really hit him. I just use my movement, and man, he could punch. Oh man, it was fun.
That's so great, though, man. That's so great, though, that you're so enthusiastic about wanting to come back too. You seem to have even more enthusiasm than guys that are in the game right now, half your age.
Oh, let's get it, man. I got energy all day. I feel great. I beat chronic pain. You know what chronic pain is?
I've had a couple of back surgeries and had an awful lot of chronic pain myself, champ. Absolutely. Yeah.
But to have it for 11 and a half years.
Horrible.
Horrible. This never goes away and you're going crazy and you finally get your life back.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like this. Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm a different person, honestly. I can't believe it. I'm like, it was a woman. I got to bring up her name. Her name is Tammy Thomas. And when I met her, with her medicine, she's a great healer. She helped me get back to where I am now.
What better way to celebrate than go out and punch some faces?
Yes.
Well, man, I'm telling you what, man. Here is something that Ike seemed to be unsure of when we talked to him. At your age, how do you go about getting back into boxing? Do you have to have the bouts sanctioned? How does that process go of getting yourself back into the ranks of the current landscape of boxing?
The biggest thing is the physical.
Yeah.
You got to take the physical and pass the physical. I mean, the health, because they got so many rules. I don't understand it as much. When I was younger, I understood, you used to say, oh, he's too old. Oh, he's too old. Now I don't understand it. It should be by your health and not your age. Because
yeah, absolutely.
I can tell you right now, I'm healthier than most of the guys boxing right now because they go up and down in their weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not good.
So all this time, 160. All this time, you felt 160 was really, really your wheelhouse, but the bigger fights were up at heavyweight.
My first fight, I weighed 169. I didn't lose any weight for the fight. We just fought. It was bootleg, and I weighed 169. And
I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. I would pay good, hard-earned dollars for my pay-per-view buy of CHRIS BYRD versus Canelo. I would take my money.
Get it. But look, the thing is, everybody gonna want to see the old man. Remember this, Tom, T-O-M, the old man. He's coming.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it, man.
And what I'm gonna break the 50 barrier big time. In this era, I'm gonna break it. Yeah. And that's the goal.
Man. So how about your father? Has your father also passed as well?
No, he's still hanging in there. He hanging.
What's his opinion? What's his opinion on a comeback at 53? Is he for it? Does he have an opinion on it?
Oh, he doesn't mind at all. Go for it, Chris. He fought until he was, I think, like 48.
That's nice.
He kept fighting. I remember when I was young, he was 45 and he still was fighting. So, that wasn't a big deal.
And not really so much for the boxing quite yet, but you could break this barrier. But I feel like Tom Brady and LeBron James are starting to kick down the door of 40 and make it look like, guys can continue on and do this thing. It's not just like you said, age is just the number of it. It's not necessarily how physically or mentally gifted or ready you are.
Yeah.
And I think people kept seeing Tom Brady playing. They're like, how is this guy playing football? And he's getting tackled and he's fucking 40 something.
Yeah.
But you could still do it if you
it can be done
doing it.
How do you take care of your body? That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And now that I know, I changed everything. I changed everything. So I don't eat hardly, but I have a lot of energy. And when you start changing everything, you're like, I never know it could be like this. Usually what boxers do is they go fight, they weigh in, and then they'll go and just eat everything because they sacrifice for 6 to 8 weeks. And now you trash your body. You go trash your body, constantly trash your body. I was the same way. I mean, that's how life was. And then I really took it to another level and fought at heavyweight. So now I can eat anything I want at any time. No way.
What do you attribute to
you being a smaller guy, heavyweight? You can eat everything anytime.
I mean, everything. and I would eat. And for me, I had this in my mind that, man, I got to weigh in bigger. I got to come in bigger because everybody going to take me they're not going to take me serious. This is a joke. So I would just, drink gallon of milk, right before the weigh-in, donuts, everything, just to make it present that I'm heavyweight.
Yeah.
And it was to my demise at the very end. That's when all the chronic pain, all the stuff started happening.
Now, I'm glad you're mentioning the chronic pain. So what do you attribute overall? You've talked about some diet changes and some lifestyle modifications. Is that what you attribute to beating the chronic pain with?
And cannabis, weed.
I'll applaud that. I'll always applaud that.
I was gonna ask
Man.
you, champ, because you said about the changes in the lifestyle. I was curious because I was lighting up, like if you had gotten rid of it, or if you ever did it, or or what your thoughts were on it. So I'm glad you actually brought that up. Go ahead, though. Sorry.
So yeah, you heard of Shannon Briggs, right?
Oh yeah, I got the hat on. Let's go, champ.
Of
Oh
course.
yeah, let's go, champ.
We've been courting him for an interview forever.
Yeah, we've been courting him for an interview. This will be, this will really help, Chris, having you on here, putting a little extra pressure on him. Tell the champ to come on, please.
Tell him to come on.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
But I was with Shannon. I was down in Florida with him, and I'm in chronic pain. I'm in pain. He's like, man, what are you doing, man? Why don't you? I can't take prescription drugs. I'm allergic to it. So I had nothing. I mean, I'm taking this pain like a fighter getting his butt whooped every round.
Yeah.
And he said, man, you need to try, cannabis, weed. Now, I never smoked a day in my life. I was a born again Christian at the time.
Yep.
Now this is wrong. But it's a herb.
Yeah.
It's natural. I didn't know that. So the first time I hit cannabis was a bong. I was out. I woke up and they all was laughing. But my pain level had went down. I'm like, this is crazy. In my foot, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And
does
from
wonders.
then on, light it up.
Kudos to you.
I'll tell you what, that's one thing that a lot of old Catholics or Christians don't want to hear is that God put this here, man. It's no accident that all you do is light this thing on fire and then great things happen.
Some good things happen. Yeah. Anxiety, pain.
And the crazy thing is, the woman that got me out of pain, she's a cannabis expert. So she's all in the cannabis business. I'm with right now the kid that I'm training, his father, cannabis, dealing with the cannabis side. So I'm like, I'm all around it. It's supposed to be, we're supposed to be dabbling in it every day. And that's what I do.
As much as people want to be diplomatic and say what they want to say, the science is there, man.
Yeah, it is.
Oh man, I'm gonna have science. The proof is my body.
Yeah.
My body was ruined. It was over.
Yeah.
So, and I seen it, and people, my family, everybody gave up. I'm in the garage by myself. People gave up. Family, we don't know what to do. No doctors knew anything. And once I started cannabis lighting up, changing my diet, boom, healing started coming. Dr. Sebi, I don't know if you ever heard of a guy named Dr. Sebi. He's a guy that,
of course,
all natural. I started listening to Dr. Sebi, and then boom.
I don't know if I should even say this on the
medicine.
channel, but I don't know if I should even say this on the channel, but they murdered him.
Yeah.
You know they did. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing, but his legacy will live on amongst people because of the healing and understanding of food. That's the number one thing you put in your body. That's the one thing you yearn for is to eat. But what are you putting? What are the chemicals that are in the food? That's the biggest thing. We don't read anything. I never read nothing. I just eat.
But champ, even if you do read it, you can't understand
it. So if you can't understand it, why are you putting it in your body?
Yeah. What? Now, so do you have a timetable for when you'd like to have a fight announced by? Are you looking at a date at all, an opponent, anything yet at this point?
Right now, they're looking at a exhibition somewhere, and I would love to have an exhibition, not with a boxer, with a former world champion. Have an exhibition 6 rounds. Excuse me, and then that's just to get my feet wet. I just want to get back in the ring, feel, get that feeling back,
move around a little,
and then start boxing regularly. I mean, every month.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep fighting, I got energy, man. I feel great. I feel like I'm 23 years old.
I'm glad, man.
Every time the thought of the comeback comes up, you get hyped.
Yeah, you do.
The love is there, the passion is there.
Yeah.
I've been boxing since I was 5. This is all I know. Like, I love this sport. I love this one-on-one competition. And now the challenge was heavyweight. Like, that's like going down a hill.
Shaq,
You driving
yeah,
down a hill
done
and
that.
the brakes go out.
Yeah. Yeah. You've conquered that, man. You've conquered that. Two-time.
Yeah, 2 times. Now it's
Yeah.
time to conquer something else and be one of the greatest fighters. You'll be mentioned when boxing come up. That's what I
Yeah.
want. I've been in this sport since I was little. So it's time to get
George Foreman, who?
But to me, man, like, I feel like he brought up earlier of you being up at Canastota, man, in the International Boxing Alliance. I feel like you coming in as a smaller guy and like we was joking about eating everything you want and just barely making it to be in a heavyweight and trying to do everything you can to be the big heavier guy and to still be the 2-time heavyweight champ.
It's amazing.
That's something in itself.
And you were in a division with guys that could really punch.
I mean, like I told you, after 92, the world opened up. If you notice, all the big heavyweights that are coming. We never had a 6'7" heavy really that could fight.
Right. And I think a lot of people are forgetting are forgetting some of the big ones too, like the Jameel McClines, the DeVarrow Williamsons. Yeah, there was a shit ton of big guys
all over the world. I mean, these big guys are coming from everywhere, and I'm amongst these guys. Like, I'm looking up, like, dang, I'm not a real heavyweight. And
did you see what I did there, champ? I slipped in McCline and Touch of Sleep. 2 guys you beat.
Yeah, I seen that. You said,
but again, two big guys though, man. There was no Touch of Sleep for you.
Yeah, and they were. See, both of them were good friends of mine.
Great guys. Yeah.
I mean,
they are.
very, very. They are great guys. We were.
DeVarrow's another guy I'm trying to get on here.
We sparred. Oh, you trying to get DeVarrow on here too?
I'll get him. Yeah, I'll get him. Yeah. He's a great guy. He does podcasts and stuff. Yeah. He's a very well, I'm excited, man. I can't wait for this to happen, man. I love that you're representing the over 50-year-olds, the white beards.
Let's get it. You know.
Yeah, let's get it. I like that, man. He's got Let's Go Champ. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. We gotta get it, man. We live one time.
I know.
Going through chronic pain, it just reminded me, man, you lost 11 and a half years of your life. We live one time. Now you what you gonna do? We live this short amount of time. I'm in my 50s. Time is getting away. So let's get it. Become great. Whatever you do, become great.
Hey, man, I gotta say though, like you say you lost 11 years, you ain't lost nothing, man, because everything you did and you put, like the work you put in and everything you accomplished, I wasn't even alive for half of your career, man, but I know it. I know who you are because even in those 11 years, you were still somebody.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, man, overcoming chronic pain, that's the kind of thing that when you lick something like that, that really takes your mental toughness to another level. Without a doubt.
I beat chronic pain. So I'm not afraid of boxing, man. Not
what can any of these guys do?
Compared to the pain. I mean, I wanted to cut my foot off. I asked the doctor, they said you would have phantom pain if you cut your foot off. I said, can you cut it off at the leg? Please cut the leg off just so I won't be in pain. And now I'm like, I'm so happy I didn't, they said what they said because I would have did it. I was in so much pain. I would have did anything to have this pain gone. But now I'm back.
I hear you.
I'm like, I kept it. Since I kept it, God had me keep it for a reason, to be champion and be the oldest champion. That's my goal, man.
Well, so let's
be champ again.
Well, so let's review here, man. The great Chris Byrd has been on here and has already called out Canelo, the Charlo brothers, and possibly
a great fight.
Yeah.
Right
here on Off the Couch Boxing. I can't believe it, man. Chris Byrd is laying down challenges at 53.
Ooh, getting ready to do it. And I'm telling you, people gonna criticize me. What do you think he doing? He crazy doing that. Come watch me spar. Come watch me work.
Yeah.
Just come watch me work. Come watch me train. You'll see. You're like, I believe I can do it. People put their insecurities on somebody else because they can't do it. They can't fathom that somebody at 53 could really be a world champion. I'll be 54 at that time.
Yeah.
And still feeling just as good as I feel right now.
Yeah. I'm psyched for you, man. And Chris, we really appreciate you doing this. This has been a real honor and pleasure getting the chance to talk to you, man.
Oh, it's great.
It's a complete honor, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a complete honor, man. You're a friend of the show. Hopefully we can have you on again sometime and do this from time to time. We'd love to have you back.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I'd like to give a shout out to my managers, man, Paul and Tiffany Newtall. They're great people. They're just good people. I like to just give them a shout out. You know, I think I have some more shout outs, but I can't remember the names.
Well, so right then and there is a reason to have you back on, and you'll have your list of shout outs organized, man.
Yes, I will.
We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, man. It was an honor, champ. Really, it was.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. Have a good one, man.
You have a good one, too. Thanks.
All right. Later, champ.
Yep, later.
Two-time heavyweight champ of the world.
Yeah.
That's double the amount of times of somebody that only did it once. I was just doing a little rough math there, and I figured that out.
Right.
One of the greats, man. A guy who defied the odds and is looking to defy them again.
And could.
Yeah, that was an inspiring episode. That got me pumped up. I might not sleep. I got to work in the morning, man, and I'm pumped up. I want to run around and start saying, let's get it. There's nobody here to challenge, but I mean.
I challenge you, Alexis Arguello Puppet.
Yeah, who am I kidding? I'm going to bed.
Alexis Arguello Puppet would still beat you.
He probably would. He's got a lot more fight in him than I do at this stage.
He would channel Alexis Arguello, the Nicaraguan Nightmare, and kill you.
Yeah, he would. I just want to say, man, that I thought I made a valid point, and I stand by my point of Chris Byrd being in the Boxing Hall of Fame, as I do with the aforementioned Shannon Briggs. 41 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw.
I mean, come on, man. Like I said, undersized heavyweight to win it two-time champ.
Notable wins over DeVaro Touch of Sleep Williamson, Big Time Jameel McCline, Vitaly Klitschko, Frezzo Kendo, David Tua, Evander Holyfield. How is this man not in the Hall of Fame? And even his losses, Ike Beabucci and Vladimir Klitschko a couple times. Not bad at all. A draw with Andrew Golota, but I mean, 2-time heavyweight champ, and you heard the guy, 208 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very small, man. But, man, what an honor, man. And the champ is excited, man. The champ is excited, you know. So, again, we got another guy over 50 whose journey we must follow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad, man. I'm inspired to do something now.
I'm about to quote our great American poet, Gary Busey, by saying that I can go 15 seconds with anything.
Yeah, I agree. And on that note, let me thank the great two-time heavyweight champion, Chris Byrd.
Yeah, shout out Chris fucking Byrd, baby.
Shout out Chris Byrd, man. Off the couch boxing right now, as we did with Ike Beabucci, stands behind the Chris Byrd comeback. We are Team Byrd. And, hey, I'm Team Whitebeard. I mean, I'll hashtag it all, man. Team over 50. Yeah. Don't knock Chris Byrd. And he had some fresh moves, man. Fresh moves.
Yeah.
I mean, that man was too slick and hard to hit, man. But I will end this thing. Thank you, 2-time champion Chris Byrd. And I will say, if you would like to be a champion, then you need to roll with the champs.
Yeah.